Good evening, everybody. This is the convening of the Cottonwood Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood for presentation of proclamations, awards, and introduction of new city employees to be held on February 15th, 2022. If we could have our clerk please take the roll.
For the pre-meeting.
Okay, fine. See, that's where I get screwed up with this whole new... Never mind. Some of us are here. One is missing. We're going to move on. Thanks. All right. First up is the introduction of new employees. We have two officers that Commander Dow will introduce to us.
Seems like this is becoming a weekly event. Yeah. Good evening, Chris Dow from Police Department, Commander of Patrol. Tonight I'd like to introduce two new employees. Officer Bustamante. We'll start off with Officer Bustamante. Officer Bustamante is a recent lateral from the town of Clarkdale. He's lived in Arizona. He's native to Arizona, born in Tucson. His father, due to his father's career, he moved around from place to place, Fort Collins, Colorado, Las Vegas, Nevada, and they finally ended up back settling in Mesa. He graduated in 2009 from Desert Ridge High School in Gilbert, and he quickly joined the Marine Corps after high school and was lucky to be stationed in Camp Pendleton, California. He deployed twice, once with the Marine Expeditionary Unit, and he was stationed in Okinawa, Japan. He was part of the humanitarian efforts of Operation... I'll let you say that. After the Fukushima nuclear power plant disaster. He then later deployed to the Himland Province in Afghanistan in 2012, and he was honorably discharged as a corporal from the Marine Corps in 2017. He started his law enforcement career in 2018 with Scottsdale PD, and he's incredibly grateful to be here now with Cottonwood Police Department here in Verde Valley. He was recently married in August 2021 to his wife, Bilvia, and they're expecting their first child in May of 2022. And I apologize because he writes it in first person, so I'm trying to translate it to, so my brain wasn't quite working quite. So without that, Officer Bustamante, oh, and he is a Spanish speaker, so that doubles our numbers for Spanish speakers now. Now we have two, so we're getting there. Joyce,
I'm very grateful for this opportunity and continue to serve this town. Thank you very much.
Great, welcome. Good to have you.
And now on to the most interesting man in the world. This is Jeff Long. He is currently retired, or just retired, from the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office, where he was on the Eastern Command, so he was over here. So Jeff has been in law enforcement for the past 26 years. He was assigned as a narcotics detective for 13 years, where he worked as an undercover position. He closely worked with the FBI, DEA, Postal Service, and the United States Department of Homeland Security on numerous drug-related cases. Jeff also served with the YCSO SWAT team and as a canine deputy and a drug recognition expert. He started his law enforcement career in 1992 and has worked for several agencies in northern Arizona, as well as the Mesa Police Department. In fact, at one point, he worked for the Cottonwood Police Department. What year was that?
I think I started in 1992.
1992, so he was a member of the Cottonwood Police Department previously. While serving as a detective, Jeff received numerous commendations, including the Department of Public Safety's Life-Saving Award. Prior to his employment with the Yavapai County Sheriff's Office, he was employed as a personal protection specialist with Dynacorp International and was stationed in the province of Kosovo. He was trained by former United States and British military special operation members. He protected high-ranking members of the European Union, United Nations, and visiting foreign dignitaries. When not in protection detail, his unit trained consistently in small arms qualifications, flight operations, and driving training. While in Kosovo, Jeff resided with an Albanian family, learning their customs and how to blend in with the indigenous population. Jeff has received numerous training certificates over the past 2.5 decades. He's also graduated from the FBI Sniper Observer course and held special operations training in Phoenix. And Jeff is a motivated person who enjoys constant challenges that the law enforcement career brings. Jeff graduated high school in Hamburg, New York in 1984 and fulfilled a family tradition by enlisting in the United States Marine Corps in 1984. He served as an amphibious assault crew chief for the 4 years and reached the rank of corporal. He was deployed to Norway and Japan in overseas details for honorary discharge in 1988. Jeff currently resides in Cottonwood and has lived here for a better part of 27 years. So when I said he was the most interesting man in the world, now you know why. Jeff is a great addition. Again, he's a lateral. He took a couple years off, took a sabbatical from law enforcement, realized he wanted to be back, wanted to join our team. We are happy to have both of them here as lateral officers, and we can't wait for them to contribute even more. I was trying to keep my Marine Corps numbers down a little bit. It's not quite working out for me. I guess we'll have to look for more Army guys, right?
Yes, sir.
Jeff, would you like to say something?
Thank you for taking the time to meet us. It's a pleasure to meet all of you here. We're super motivated to be here. It's great to be back. And it's an amazing team that they have up there at the PD. Very interesting, and there's a lot of very interesting people there. I'm a super transparent guy, so if you ever need anything, please feel free to call me, and you know where to find me. So please reach out if you need anything at all. I appreciate your time.
Awesome. Thanks. Welcome to you both.
Picture now or later?
So we're gonna all come down and get a photo with you, and Officer Bustamante, if you wanted to invite Filomena, your wife, up, please do.
Thank you. No, I went and had it professionally done.
Appreciate the opportunity.
I mistakenly gave Sandra the night off.
Didn't think that one through, huh?
No, I did not.
Thank you for a couple of years.
All right, next we're fortunate to have with us Damien Browning of Steps to Recovery. He's going to give us a presentation. So come on up, sir.
Hey guys, how's it going? So just kind of work with me with this. This is my first time doing this with this. So thanks for having me here. I'm Damien Browning. I'm the Executive Director of Steps to Recovery Homes, and this is a Steps to Recovery Homes Systems Change Initiative presentation. Let's see how we do this. Okay. So our mission is to provide safe, clean, and structured environments to educate and assist individuals to obtain long-term recovery and embrace a purpose in their life. We focus on behavior modification, communication skills, and internalizing personal responsibility, comprehensive job development, awareness of substance use disorders and mental health issues, integration of individuals back into our community and society, core issues that perpetuate self-destructive patterns, and removal of barriers that limit individuals from living successfully. There's a tremendous need for a clear starting point for those seeking help and access to services. People simply don't know where to go to get help. Many individuals contact multiple providers before finally finding someone that could help with a diagnosis and/or treatment rehabilitation. We believe that establishing a clear first point of contact is essential to assisting individuals and families to find available services and guide them in finding a diagnosis and initial treatment options. So, our first goal, so we have a couple goals, right? And we're talking about system change, we're talking about some of the challenges. So our first goal is to create more access and reduce wait lists to substance abuse and mental health programs in rural areas of Yavapai County, Verde Valley. Some of the challenges we see is wait lists in rural areas, duplicated services, bureaucracy, staffing shortages, negative labels and stigmas, lack of resources for proper assessment, referral, and follow through. Poor coordination with community partners. And, oh, I can't hit that way, okay. And some of the objectives we have is, well, the first one is about screening and comprehensive assessment, right? So we're talking about, currently the Verde Valley only has one provider in the area. With the substance use mental health population, as the substance use mental health population continues to grow, clients struggle to attend appointments due to lack of transportation, Medicaid access in our area and in our county. So we're going to try to work on really improving that. The second thing we're talking about is really fast tracking and warm handoffs. And what we mean by that is, like, due to a shortage of mental health resources, clients are not getting proper care identified in the screening and assessment process and are falling through the cracks. We are developing meaningful relationships with community partners to place clients in the appropriate level of care needed to create sustainable outcomes in service delivery. And we're talking about staffing, really. You know, we're, because what we came to was, like, a lot of this is around staffing, which everywhere is having trouble with staffing, right? So how do you have quality staff, obtain quality staff and keep quality staff, really? So we're going to work on, we feel it's important to build a culture of providers that understand the needs of our rural community, to include trauma-informed care and culture awareness to meet clients where they're at, and provide an environment of empowerment and self-actualization. We also feel it is important to take care of our professional staff through training and the development of the strengths they bring to the client-counselor relationship. So we're really going to be educating and training and working really hard on creating a certain culture with our staff. So we feel like that's one of the most important things, to create quality care. Next thing we're talking about is really building relationships with community partners. There's a lot of organizations trying to help people. There's a lot of people doing things. There's a lot of collaborative co-ops and stuff. So what's different? What are we gonna do? So we want to, because we're a rural community, resources that might benefit the community are not well advertised. We would like to create a community hub that provides a one-stop shop to ensure clients are getting the appropriate services they need based on intake, assessment, and referral. And we're going to do stuff like, really do some educational training things that make people want to come to the table. Really use, technology to make it more accessible. Our goal, too, is to establish systems to support life during recovery and reintegration. So some of the challenges we see is the lack of client-centered care, individualized plans, lack of integrated holistic care, lack of supportive housing, financial barriers to treatment, lack of funding. This is the old slide. I don't know how I grabbed the wrong one, but we're working on it. We worked like all day on this thing. Some of our objectives and what we're going to do, the first thing is we're talking about a holistic program, right? So we're going to look at the person from the head down instead of the neck up. We're going to look at all the variables that go into really treating the individual and what goes into how do they become successful and remain successful in long-term recovery. There's a lot of little individualized variables that go with that. With every different person has different things that they have gone through or going through or whatever. So there's a lot of things, and we feel like we're going to look at that and really make that really important about what to meet them where they're at, The second thing we're talking about is creating plans that are client-centered. And when we're talking about that, we think that client-centered care is key. We believe that focusing on the client's buy-in and treatment promotes change from within for sustainable recovery. The clients have to, they have to want to change, right? They have to feel like they are invested in it, like it's their plan, somewhat. So we're going to create an environment where they have a say, working with their supportive case manager and stuff, and therapists and stuff, that they're a part of that plan. And we think that's really important, that they have that buy-in. And that's going to change a lot too. Third thing we're talking about is housing opportunities. We all have, we know that housing's an issue. It's even more of an issue with people with felonies, or people, a lot of people that come to our program come out of prison or incarceration and they have felonies. And so the first thing we do is we obviously, if the client is going to meet a certain level of our criteria, they'll be able to go into our supportive housing with the intensive outpatient therapy. But also we're going to hopefully look at other housing opportunities and lining them up to certain criteria or certain needs that they may need. Fourth thing we're talking about is workforce program. We all know that the workforce we have a job development program. You guys actually have given us some funding for that, which thank you so much for that. It's helping out. But it's a big deal, you know, how there's so many barriers to employment, especially with people with addiction issues and mental health issues. So we're trying to address those things. We're going to continue to evolve that, work on some career development stuff, and you know, part of becoming a productive contributing member of your society is being, you know, financially stable, right? So we're going to continue to evolve and work on empowering our clients to find purpose in their life and value in what they're doing in life. We feel that's a big piece of the puzzle. Last thing is, obviously it goes with it, is contributing members of society and families and reducing recidivism. We all know that recidivism rates are way too high. So what factors go into breaking that chain of somebody reoffending or relapsing? So we think everything does. You know, we really do. We feel that that everything that we're going to provide in the holistic view is actually going to minimize that and reduce those rates. And it already has from what we're doing. Now we're just going to be doing more. And this is what we're going to be doing more on, is we are starting an intensive outpatient program. And we won't go over all these services, but we're gonna have a one-stop healing center. We're gonna have treatment available for our clients and for people outside of our homes, which is different for us because usually we've only been able to help the people in our homes. Now we're going to be able to help other people, other businesses that have people that need help or counseling or grief counseling or anger management or whatever it is. We feel like that's going to help a lot in our community. And the difference, you know, actually on the new one it said, you know, making the difference is what I put, because really, why is it going to be different? What's making the difference? And it's all this stuff we have in here. You know, we have a lot more than we provide a lot of services that, you know, I'm not going to say other people don't. I'm just saying we're trying to have a holistic program to provide the pieces that go into the puzzle, right? And put somebody back together. So the job development, the transitional living, the peer support. You know, the individualized therapy to address the core issues that are really driving the self-destructive patterns, stuff like that. And the healing center. So we are purchasing a building. We have a zero down, low interest loan from the USDA. It's actually helping us with this whole plan, and it's to maximize productivity, consolidate our operations. We're going to be able to have stronger client-centered care from this. We're going to be able to have a centralized hub. It's going to be able to sustain our programs for the future years, and hopefully generations for the Verde Valley. When I'm long gone, we'll have this place for people with addiction issues and co-occurring disorders, mental health issues. There'll be somewhere that they can go. Community resources, we're going to have more community resources, but we're going to really focus on, you know, providing awareness and education for the community and for our staffing and for our clients. Counseling, UA testing, we're going to start UA testing, we're going to start a COVID testing site. This is the building. You guys might be familiar with it. You guys are purchasing the one next door. So we've been in contract with this since October. Our contract's going a little slower because it's a loan from the government. So, and we're thankful for the USDA. They really helped us out a lot. You know, I actually met Jeff Hayes through our ex-mayor, Diane Jones, and he's been really helpful for the last 5 years to try to get us to a point where we can help more people and be more sustaining. So, and I know a lot of you have been part of that process and know kind of what I'm talking about. We got a couple homes now. We've been able to do improvements on it. Now we're getting the building. We're going to be able to move everything over there. And lastly, thanks for all you do. Are there any questions?
Questions for Mr. Browning? We're going to be neighbors.
I'm going to keep it really clean and to a low minimum. And you'll be able to come to me if you have any issues.
After my next couple of years, I might have some issues. So. You've been here a long time. You've proven yourself in this community, and I really do appreciate all that you do and all that you offer to folks that need your assistance. And I'm excited for this next step for you. And I'll be there this Thursday to support you as you go after another grant through the Vitalist Foundation. But anything we can do to support you, I'm here for you. Are there any questions at all for Mr. Browning?
Let me make a comment though. In case anybody doesn't know, I install breathalyzers, so we've got a couple of overlapping clients. But the mindset of the people going through your program is completely different. And I don't know if the commander's seen otherwise, but they usually don't come back twice for a second round. So whatever you're doing seems to be working.
Thank you. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, this will be a huge milestone for you too, if when this all comes to fruition for you. And I know that it's going to take you to that next level. So I really hope that you can manage all this, and you've got a lot on your shoulders. I know you have some board.
If you want to volunteer.
Yeah, I was going to say, I know you have some board members with you here, but let this be an official call out for any more folks who would like to volunteer for Mr. Browning to help.
We're looking for people to get involved. It is going to be huge, and I appreciate everything, your kind words and everything, guys. And I think it's going to help a lot. Moving into more of a clinical, we're going to be able to maximize the success rate for our clients, and bring in some sustainability to where we can hire the appropriate staff. We're not so overwhelmed because it's been hard.
Yep.
It's a labor of love for sure.
Yep. Well, I see you have, collaborating with the other nonprofits in the area on one of your lists of things to do, to work on, and I think that's really important. Certainly is a lot of overlap, but if we can get more of our nonprofits kind of facing the same direction, I think there could be a lot of room for collaboration and helping one another out. So I wish you success in that. Yeah.
Cool. All right.
Good deal. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Okay, that will convene then this pre-meeting, and we're going to meet again at 6, so don't go anywhere.